Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesiZulu bese siza la sokhuluma ngazo le ndaba esifundile. Senzela labo phela bangenazo isikhathi ukuthi bafunde incwadi nalabo abanqenayo nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama-reality shows esala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo la ma-shows, senza ama-reviews ama-recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga-any other issues avukayo uma ngabe la ma-shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Uma ngabe uqala ujoyina namhlanje and you happen to like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi ucindezela i-notification bell eduze kuka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Kanjalo uma ufuna ukuba imember yale channel, there is a join button la ngezansi. Uma ngabe ufuna ukubonga i-channel ngemali, there is a thanks button, and thank you so much to all those people that have thanked the channel ngemali. And also guys, ngiya-appreciate kakhulu ukuthi abantu bayawabuka ama-adverts uma ngabe bebuka ama-videos ale channel lena. Namhlanje nayo guys, I'm going to do a review that really it was so difficult to watch this episode, you guys. I'm actually just getting even teary thinking about it. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry, because this episode really hit home for me. It really did. It really did. It was such an emotional episode. I don't even know how Gogo Skhotheni, if she did, approved for this part of her journey to be shown on TV, but this was like the most real part of the show, honestly. You know, I don't think that any of it was faked this time. We watched her getting emotional about something that is really big and something that is really close to her heart. And I feel for her. Honestly, I feel for her. I don't know what the updates are because the show was obviously shot a while ago. So I don't know what the updates are as far as the situation with her baby is concerned. But I hope everything worked out for them. So I'm just going to do this review, you guys. And it's probably not going to be as long as my episodes usually are, because mostly it was the episode was around the issue with the baby. Okay, so when the episode starts, you guys, I think Gogo Skhotheni has been admitted in the hospital because she's not well. But the thing that makes everybody worried is because she's only 7 months pregnant. So it's too early for her to be giving birth. And she's at the hospital and they're talking about emergency delivery and all of that. So she does say with the session, which at some point she thought, you know what, maybe I am actually 9 months pregnant. We didn't calculate well. Maybe the doctor got it wrong or something, because I guess she was struggling to deal with the fact that she was about to prematurely deliver the baby, which was very hard for her to think about. So that's why she's going through. They call Monday there to come in because they realize she will have to go to theater. And then obviously they deliver the baby and it doesn't go as well. I think the baby didn't really cry when first, the baby is premature, and also the baby didn't cry, and there is some issues as well about the way that the baby looked and his breathing as well. And yeah, you guys, so that is a challenge that they went through, and soon they realized the hospital that they were in do not have the facilities to actually take care of the baby, because they realized that they were going to have to do an operation on the baby to help the baby, I think, to breathe, and also there was issue with her feeding. So they are transferred to Bloemfontein Hospital, I think they said. And yeah, and then I think eventually, after they're done with the operation, even though in the episode they don't show you every single thing that happens while they're in the hospital, and I think also shooting the show when something so personal is going through, it's a challenge for the crew. And also probably they had planned that they were going to give birth in this particular hospital and maybe ask for permission to film in that hospital. So now when they are transferred to another hospital, they're probably not going to be able to get permission to film in another hospital as quickly. And so there wasn't a lot of footage when they are in Bloemfontein Hospital when the operation took place. So I imagine that filming those scenes would have been difficult. Maybe that's why we didn't get a lot about it. But also the fact that it's such a personal and painful journey for Gogo Skhotheni no Monde. Maybe the producers decided to take a step back a little bit and not film every single thing, because the last time we saw a baby was when the baby is in the hospital just after the delivery, which I also thought if I was the mother, I wouldn't have been comfortable with them even showing the baby at that time. I wonder how she's feeling about it, because I thought, would say, yo, that is painful to watch. So I wouldn't have wanted that to be shown. So that was the last time that we actually saw Umtwana. After that, they got transferred and we didn't see the baby. Anyway, and then they get to a point where Umonde updates us to say the baby is already at home with Utumi, but because of they've just gone through that operation. It's like how they need to take care of a baby is different from just normally when you have a baby. So they are getting used to a baby that requires a little bit extra when it comes to like medical needs, guys. And I know how that feels like. I know that I remember when we first came back from the hospital with those people, there were like months where I never slept. There were months where I didn't know. Like I would be in bed, but I would not sleep, because you don't know if everything that you're supposed to do, you have done it correctly for you to be comfortable enough to fall asleep. You feel like if I fall asleep, something's gonna go wrong, and you keep checking the baby, and you keep, you know. And I can imagine it's a challenge, and it's not something that also what really in there was going to have this challenge now, you know. So yeah, I guess they're dealing with that. So Tumi is at home with the baby, and Umonde decides to go and see the doctor, because I guess he's saying he didn't understand what was happening with the baby. And when the situation is happening, guys, as much as doctors are going to try and explain to you what's happening, but now you don't want to take the time away from the doctors taking care of your child and be like, listen, I don't understand what's going on now. You know, what should we expect? So you will let the doctors do what they need to do, maybe after get the information. And I think that's what Umonde is doing here. He's trying to get the information, because he went and saw the doctor to explain to him what is wrong with the baby. You know, why did the baby need the operation, and what's next now, you know? And that doctor I thought was so good. You guys even drew pictures, because sometimes the doctors will be showing you scans, you know, and you're like, thinking, I don't even see anything there. You know what I mean? That's how doctors are. Guys, like I have an accounting brain. I have a, you know, debit and credit. So for me, sometimes even when I go, when people, the doctor is showing you your own X-ray, and then he'll be pointing there, and I'm like, I just see like white and I see black. I don't see. Yeah, you see here the bone is fractured. You see here, and I'm like, I don't see anything, doctor. You know. So like he was really good at explaining. What I got from it was that the placenta prematurely separated from the baby. So by the time Utum was giving birth, the baby had already been, the placenta had already been separated from the baby. And as we know, a placenta iyona esiza umntwana to feed, get oxygen from the mother and all that. So there was a time where the baby was actually still in her tummy, but not getting what they're supposed to get from the mother. So I think honestly, guys, it's such a miracle that the baby honestly survived, because there's a time when Tumi was crying so much, I thought maybe something happened to the baby. I wouldn't have been able to take it honestly. And so I think it is a miracle in itself that even though that happened while the baby was still in her, but it didn't affect the baby so much that, you know, like the baby survived basically. So I think it's a miracle that the baby survived. So the doctor is explaining to him, and also they're having issue with the feeding, and you know, they explaining why they need the operation and moving forward, the kind of procedures that they're going to need with the baby and all of that. I thought it was great for Monde to just go and understand on her own, so that she also, when he goes home, he also understands how he is going to support Utomi, you know, instead of expecting that information that he needs is going to get that explanation from Ulukuzana Utomi. So I like that he did that. Okay. So yes, and then they did show Usbusiso a little bit, the second husband sending a video to Gogo Skhotheni, and he is not in the country. Apparently he's outside of the country. I'm not sure when. He was talking about going to some Japanese whatever place, restaurant, whatever. So I was like, he's in Japan. I think he's gone away within the or something, so he's not around. So he kept sending me like some messages, but because Anama videos, it didn't sound very sensitive. Like, to understand that this person you're sending this video to is really going through something that intense when it comes to the baby and stuff. So yeah, they could have left that part because they showed us supposed to twice sending a video to me. They really could have just in this episode. I think they were dealing with a really serious issue that we really just could have done without any scenes from Oswosiso, because that part of it is the part that most of us feel like it's fake anyway. So I don't think that we needed to see that part of the show anyway when they're this week. And then the next scene was Gogo Skhotheni with Monde. They're sitting outside. I guess Gogo Skhotheni is trying to find out how Monde feels about the situation. And Monde is saying, you know what, of course I don't feel good about the situation, but what is the point of me saying I don't feel good about the situation? Because right now you are not okay. How are you going to be able to help me? Right now I want to focus on helping you and helping the baby and all of that. As for me, we'll see. But yeah, that's how guys, even like men will be like sometimes we forget. I remember our relationship struggled so much at the beginning when we were dealing with, the medical issues with our child, because obviously my focus was on her and I wasn't caring about anybody else's feelings, and that it happens. So I think she was crying, Shem, she was crying. I think when you realize actually what you are faced with and it has to do with your child, guys, and at some point you're just going to break down. And I think that's what was happening with her, to realize this is real, this is really happening to my child. Like God is putting me through this, like there's no getting away from it. It is as hard as it can possibly be, and I wasn't ready for it. Nothing prepared me for it. And at some point, you just have to cry about it before you go into war, because you are about to go to war. And she is blaming the ancestors, guys. And I guess for her, she says, was the baby. She asked for the baby, and this was the baby that she had asked for from Mama Dlozi, because according to her, so she doesn't understand why this whole thing is happening with Ngane. Why would they let her go through that? I had questions too, you guys. And mhlambe ukuthi vele I don't understand how ubunyanga works, because are you not able to foresee izinto? Mhlambe if something is wrong with you now, if you are able to do it for other people. I just had those questions. Not ukuthi I'm judging the situation, but I did have that, and also mangabe uyinyanga ke wena, are you not able to foresee ukuthi, what, this situation will pass, or are you not able to foresee a solution, a situation that you are in, or now you need to go and see someone else for you to get assistance? That's what I'm not understanding. But she is blaming Amadlozi. She says also she's sacrificed so much for Amadlozi, for them to put her, through that, and she doesn't understand it. I think it's natural to just blame yourself and be like, what did I do wrong? Because I'm doing everything that I think that they want me to do. And for her, I guess it's Amadlozi, because she believes in Amadlozi. And I guess if you believe in God, you'll be like, God, I'm doing everything I can, and to serve you, or whatever it is that you believe in. And she just doesn't understand why she still has to go through that with the baby. And now there is another operation that Umtanabo. Sorry guys, I'm trying to film while the kids are up and down. now I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, yes, you guys, there is another operation that they say the child has to go through, and they're saying that it's a big one, even though they haven't explained what kind of an operation it is. And also Just the fact that we also didn't see the baby, so we don't know what condition the baby is in now, but we know that it's not good because Tom is very emotional about it. You guys, I hope that everything goes well, and yeah, but yeah, this episode was the realest of all the episodes that we have seen. Gogo Skhotheni, she is going through a lot. I feel it so much for her, and I hope that everything works out. I hope that everything works out for her and Monde as well, guys, and the baby. So, yes, you guys, I wish they could just remove Usbusiso from the situation for now and we just forget about him. We'll bring him back when we are ready to watch the fake episode. Anyway, there was the episode, you guys, for today. Tell me what you think about this very emotional episode in the comment section, and like the video before Npume yona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginethanda kakhulu.